Well, a very warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You join us for the second of our semi-finals at the 2026 QTech Belgian Open here in the wonderful seaside city of Oostende in Belgium. This match between Tobias Bongers and Eklent Kaçi, race to 9. Tobias has won the lag and will get us off. For our viewers still here from our last match, well, I've got a feeling this one is going to be just as exciting. My name is Gethin Davis. Joining me back in the box to bring you this exciting encounter, my good friend and colleague Kevin Dijkstra. Kevin, welcome back, sir. This should be a clanger.
Definitely hope so.
Tobias has been playing very strong. Has had a couple of tough encounters as well. And whoa, what a way to open up. Straight off the bat with a golden break. No murmurs made. The crowd remains silent. I'm not too sure if they've known what's hit them. And that will bring Eklent up to break. Well, Kevin, blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah, well, I actually did. I was just sharing the link of the final.
Wow. Well, what can Kaçi do? Both these players have been dialing in their breaks over the past 4 days. Well,
The line was on the move, but that was about it.
well, 1, 2 and 3 look pretty good, and the 4, but that's 7, not so nice.
Well, if he, let's see. Yeah, he should be able to leave him somewhat of an angle, leave himself somewhat of an angle on the 6, coming from the 5, to go below the 9. Just fall on the short rail.
Well, Bongers played very well in Antalya, was out there for both the European Championships and Euro Tour. Still flying high by the looks of it and going strong. We've had 2 Germans in the semi-finals. The first, Felix Vogel, securing his place in the final. Will it be another German joining him? I'm sure Kaçi has something to say about that. We did have 4 Albanians in the last 16.
Yeah, and 2 of them got eliminated by Tobias.
Ooh, that one used all the pocket. Yeah, exactly. Dispatched by Tobias. So, brimming with confidence, and both him and Kaçi have had, what has to be said, quite a rare respite while they were watching the first semi-final, so they should have a little bit more spring in their step. It has been a very full-on tournament, lots of matches, great for the viewers.
You have a little angle here. Well, if he did, he just made one.
That will work rather nicely indeed. Ideally, either going to float high over centre table, which is what he's done. there was an option just to not move the cue ball as far and take a longer 8 into the top left. This has worked out very nicely. Looks like he's just come high enough.
Yeah, and he can just gently draw it back. Even can move it a bit towards the 9.
And well, we've had a couple of matches today where it's taken half an hour, 45 minutes for the opening 2. It looks like Kaçi's already asking a question because of the... Oh, interesting question to ask. Kaçi has asked if there are 2 or 3 balls left on the table, can he give up the rack? Wonder where that's come from. Well, we can speculate.
Yeah. Could be somewhat of mental games. Like giving up a few balls and then at some point making him shoot them.
I want to read the same books you've been reading, Kevin.
Or maybe he just wants Tobias not to get in stroke too much by conceding some racks.
Well, I mean, first of all, they need to update the score. It needs to say 2-0. I don't think they've pressed the button. I'm sure that will be rectified shortly. Secondly, it's a bit of a, I think it's a bit of a nonsensical question. I mean, you're not going to walk up when he's in the middle of his run and just suddenly concede. It's only going to be if he's at the table, and, well, you're not going to stop Tobias from running out if he's at the table. I'm just...
Yeah, well, you see that happen a lot, I think. If
just walk up and smack the balls and concede.
Just say, it's good. This rack is good. You see it a lot. Like if they end up on the 9.
Of course, yeah, and just walk over. Good point. It's not something that I ever do. It's not really in my vernacular, but I know it happens, and it does.
Yeah, generally only give up if I scratch on with one ball left on the table.
Yeah, for instance, correct. Yeah. But then you have to be careful in case you can or can't, depending on what rules you're playing. Good question then, maybe by Kaçi, just to double check before he makes a real faux pas. Now,
it would be funny if he said here, okay, this rack is good. Next one.
Yeah, I actually thought he was just asking.
If you could check the rack, that's what I thought first.
Yeah. Whoa, nice cut by Tobias. And then that would have made more sense with regards to mind games, you know. Just saying, well, first break, golden break. I want you to check this time, Johnny.
Yeah.
Anyhow, for any of you just joining us, the score is 2-0 to Tobias Bongers. He broke first, golden break. Dry break from Kaçi, pounced on by Tobias, and he's at the table now in the third rack. The 4 clearly passes the 8. Doesn't want to bring the 6 into the equation here. With a little bit of force, was able to push the cue ball out a bit firmer to avoid the 6. Now in prime position here in this third rack.
Yeah. He's not done a lot wrong yet. Oh, actually, he's done nothing wrong yet. In the previous round, he played against Eklent's brother, think there also he got into a huge lead.
And then it came all the way back. Then it came all the way back.
Yeah.
It was a hill decider. Went on for quite a while. Not straight. Can put a bit of action on this, and the cue ball quite a healthy distance off the rail. Can he force follow this through? Around the 9 would be the best option here. I have to say, what a start for Bongers here. Okay, you're not going to be guaranteeing making a golden break on your first break in the semi-finals. But he had to pounce on the first mistake from Eklent.
Yeah, now seems to be following it up with a break and run.
Oh.
So I will expect them to update the score now. Yeah, I see Eklent pushing the button. And it's 3-0.
Right. Kaçi to break. Quick. Opening 3 racks by all accounts. Golden break, dry break, opponent runs. And then a break and run from Tobias. The perfect start for the German. Already a German in the final. Felix Vogel, who played absolutely tremendously. In his matchup against Oliver Zolnocki. Oliver was in the driver's seat. And then a mini comeback from Felix. Couple of timeouts, a golden break. And Felix turned it around. So, one German in the final here. Kaçi to break, trailing 3 racks to 0. Made the 1. Oh, the 9. They're both getting that 9 move in. That could provide for some interesting action and drama. Four, 5. The real outliers there.
Yeah, trying to see if he could maybe carry the 4 into the off the 4 into the 5.
Oh. Oh, he's played that with authority. Yeah, I like what you're saying. Our viewers at home cannot see the hand gestures from my colleague Kevin, but he was insinuated where that 9 ball is positioned. There may be a carom off the 4 to get the 5 ball travelling towards the 9. He might be looking at that as well himself. You can tell who's the rotation player and who isn't in the booth. Great stuff.
Now he's looking at the bank.
Well, a lot of side. Leaves it in quite good shape for the bank. will avoid contacting the 5. So we'll be looking to put the cue ball, I would suggest, somewhere where that 4 is to take on that 5-9 combination. First of all, needs to make this.
Might be bumping out the... no.
Had a chance of coming back in off the second rail. It checked up a little too much. Now, this would be adding insult to injury if Tobias can just drop the 4 in up here into the corner, which he has done. That will leave this 5-9 combination looming. And a scratch of the head from Kaçi over on the right hand side of our screen. Must be wondering, well, if this goes, is it really my semi-final at the moment? There's a lot of distance between the 5 and the 9. Kevin and I have gone quiet for a very good reason. This is no gimme, but this could be a real uppercut.
I think he played it into the rail first deliberately.
Yeah, to encourage and expand the margin of error. Wow. Kaçi. Well, he will be disappointed. He's not, as you said, done much wrong. Missed a bank. And a dry break.
Exactly.
Correct. And let's take nothing away from Bongers. He's had to do what he's had to do. Making a great clearance off of Kaçi's dry break. And on this instance, making a very tricky combination to take that rack early. 4-0's the score. Bongers back to break. It's alternate break, so he will get a chance now for his 3rd break of the match. Makes the 1, makes the 4. What's the 2 doing? Well, the 2 is out there.
Something he can definitely make and hold for the 3.
Yeah, the 6 has the bottom left pocket. 7 has the bottom right. Not a bad result from the break.
What I do find interesting, the previous match, Johnny was racking for the players, and I know he's discussed it beforehand with them, and apparently those two wanted him to rack, and Tobias and Eklent have decided to do it on their own. Curious as to why.
Well, if you give them the choice, things like that will happen.
Yeah.
I did see Johnny sitting down with Felix and Oliver at the beginning of their match, having a good chat. Bit like how the referee in a boxing match will go into the changing rooms first, and they would do the same in our rugby matches as well, lay out the law. But yeah, funny that they get the choice.
No, I think we have a referee here to do that. But if the players choose to not use that, let's say that's their prerogative.
Oh, that was not the easiest of cuts that he's made there. And he kept the cue ball lateral across the table, long rail, long rail. And not a bad look at this 5. Can just check into the long rail. And he's been able to get that cue ball nice and close as well to the 6. He really has come out of the gate on fire. And is not going to give, by the looks of it so far. Kaçi are looking. He can avoid the 9 here.
Yeah, but maybe he wants to bump it. So he can shoot the 7 into the side and then the 8.
Well, we spoke about this in one of his earlier matches, Kevin. Tobias, a very, very strong straight pool player, was defending champion going into the European Championships. I believe he went out in the quarter, if not semi-finals, so played very well. Yeah, it was the semis. It was an all-German semi-final. It was impressive, and he's not afraid to move balls. And that can be very powerful in all disciplines of pool, but it can be very daunting and jeopardizing. Brought it through the gap nicely. Has options here as well. Can take it into the right center or long.
He's going to go long.
Crowd starting to build up here. There's quite a good number downstairs, has been all week. Played that nicely. Does tend to get loud downstairs. Can hear a pin drop up here right now. Thinking a few of them are shell shocked with the way that Tobias has come out the blocks. And this, nigh on a flawless chance for 5-0 with no reply from Kaçi. This is looking very intimidating. Yeah. Kaçi jumps out of his chair. Won't be happy with the prospect ahead of him, but it will be his break. And well, Kevin, I think if you'd have sat both of us down and said Tobias would be 5-0 up in half an hour, well, I don't think we would have been surprised if either player would have been at 5-0. They certainly have the strength, but in the alternate break format, I would have suggested that a 5-0 scoreline wouldn't have been possible, but that's what we've got, courtesy of a golden break, a dry break, and
2 break and runs.
Well, bring Kaçi to the table, staring down the barrel of a 5-0 deficit.
He does get that 9 ball moving every time.
Good spot, Kevin. Good spot. Let's have a look at the 2. Not really anything jumping out at me, unless he's going for a 2-9 combo.
No, he might be going to the left side and make Q1 move up there towards the 3. say if he misses, he still probably leaves nothing. Tap on the table indicates Tobias does not have a shot.
The cue ball did leak a bit out from the 7. It threatened to leave the 2 on. Maybe you can see an edge. He can. Wanted to avoid the 9. Did not.
So now Kaçi is an, well, open table, I would say. The 5 passes the 8.
Well, you'd have to say this is an opportunity that should not be missed. Does look more than makeable. Six onto the 7 will just be the one that would need that extra bit of care, but certainly when within Kaçi's remit, and just needs to put the scoreline out of his head. As we mentioned, a strong team of players here in Belgium from Albania. I mentioned 4 making it through to the last 16. Strong play. And now Kaçi with the only hope left for Albania in making the final. He's going to have to come about it the hard way, because his opponent, Tobias Bongers, has knocked in the first 5 racks in this race to 9, and now in response, Kaçi makes a very useful break and run.
Yeah. And a timely one, because if he didn't now, it wasn't a break and run, by the way. It came from that miss of by Tobias.
Oh, of course. Yep. Up in the top.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
But if he had not taken this rack, 6-0 down.
Don't want to put here because of the free, but it's okay.
The last 3 times was in the bottom.
Really?
Die pol die er staat.
Oh. The players were just having a little bit of banter. You may have picked up on that. Don't know if Kaçi made the initial comment, but I certainly picked up on Tobias explaining that he was putting the 3 on the side. The 2 needs to go on either the sides or the bottom of the rack. Don't know if you heard a little bit of banter going on there. Kaçi and Bongers just talking about positioning of balls in the rack, specifically the 3 on that occasion.
Yeah.
Seemed to be said in jest. Kaçi still smiling.
And Tobias just said something to him again.
Hmm. I will keep an ear, maybe also an eye on that. If anyone else is picking up on what has been and being said. Fire it in so we can have a little bit of a butcher's. Now, made the one off the break. No look at the two. For hampering, I would suggest going down the left side of the table.
Yeah.
Can push. Looks like the push is incoming. Where does he want that cue ball? Not far from the 6. Will that leave an edge of the blue 2? That's the question.
Yeah, but he's going to tie up the 3 and the 6.
Well, if there is an edge, I would suggest the pot is on. Is it worth taking on? Oof. I would have to say yes.
He's got to make something happen.
I think he can take this on as an element of safety involved as well. Made it. Avoid the scratch. And look at this for a run. Has he come up far enough? That's a tricky one.
Yeah. Seems like he has gotten there.
If not, it's an edge.
Yeah, it seems like he hasn't gotten there.
Yeah, from this camera angle, it's not completely revealed to us. Kaçi going back for his jump stick. Gleans more light on the situation. Fancy him to make it. He has. The cue ball's behaved. May be able to come around the 5-9. And hold for the 5. Doesn't want the ball, cue ball to run on too much. Hasn't. Well, when they're spread like this, both Kaçi and Bongers will make it look easy. Eklent came to the table 2 racks ago, 5-0 deficit. Now brings the score back to 5-2. We already have a German that has booked his place in the final. Felix Vogel with a very good performance against a strong Oliver Zolnocki. And, well, will he meet a German or an Albanian in the final? The way that this German has got off, you would suggest he would be favourite. We have a little vote in the chat room in case anyone has some opinions on that. And at the moment, Eklent is just pepping it with 58% of the votes. The scoreline, in contrast to that, Kaçi to break, training 5 racks to 2. Again, making the 1 into that centre pocket. And made the 2, so needs shape on this 3, and he's got it. Ooh. Has momentum shifted? I would suggest it has. It will be interesting to see how Tobias handles it. Played it through centre table very effectively. Looking to just draw back for the 5. Which he has done. Now needs to get back up the other end of the table for the 6.
Yeah, but 2 or 3 rails round. That should definitely get him there. Actually, 4 rails it is.
Well, whether the wind has turned or not, Kaçi has got a big gust in his sails at the moment. And this is a break and run on the cards. Yeah, and an applause from the crowd. Scoreline coming back a little bit more to Eklent. 5-3. Tobias Bongers with the break. Race to 9 after rushing off to a 5-0 lead. Kaçi has just slowly dented his way back into this. And again, as you mentioned, Kevin, nothing new to these players. But still, pressure is pressure.
Oh yes. But I think you alluded to it earlier. Tobias was the reigning European champion.
Yeah, coming into
last.
Antalya.
Yeah. Eklent, of course, I think he has won at least one, but I think even more world championships. So yeah, they like you say, they know pressure.
Now, magic rack is removed from the overhead. We can see an edge of the 2. We'll be running into the 8, possibly in a healthy position. I'm just wondering if he'll play it like that. Will he be running into the 9 with the 2?
He can also just clip it and move it behind the 7, get the cue ball back up table.
That could work. It's not obvious. He's not sure at all, is he, Kevin?
Oh, but it's a tricky situation because he's been giving up his lead slowly now, so he wants to make sure he gets the right shot here to avoid losing another rack.
God, how thin did you have to hit that to avoid the 8?
Well, Has he given up a shot though?
Well, that would suggest Eklent fancies this. Doesn't need to do, if he's coming off the right hand side, even if it's just a slight touch on the right hand side of the two, the cue ball should hold for the 3. And that would suggest he's going to be hitting it rather straight. So a touchy shot coming up here. Sounded like a miscue.
Yep.
Sounds like when I use my brake stick instead of my playing stick by accident. And that is unfortunate.
I think Tobias thought it was a bow and hand. Oh, he was pointing out for it to be Clinton.
It did look like he was hesitating to pick it up
Yeah.
at one point. Taking this cut on. The cue ball has got good pace coming back up towards centre table. The 4 will be the next ball. Wants an angle to come back across for the 5. Which he has done. It's going to be coming back across the table with a little bit of speed. Takes the second rail. Holds nicely. Now, centre table should give him
Options.
Yeah, exactly. May want to put the 6 and the 7 in the same pocket. Yeah, that's what he's looking at. Done that well. Just needs to ensure he avoids the 8, which I'm pretty sure his natural line will. Or did need to check it up just to avoid it. You can see that. Oh, that's what he was asking.
And I just saw someone in the chat say Tobias is playing smart because he's taken out the pace. And at that moment, Kaçi just gives up and takes back his momentum basically.
Great comment. Timely comment. And yet, clearly picked up on what Kaçi had asked earlier. And if Bongers has clicked on that, expect him just to slow it down a little bit more. And that could just build a bit of frustration. Oh, last ball moving, drops.
Tobias was already standing up.
Yeah, didn't look like anything was going. Now, what is Kaçi thinking? He's got a cut on the 1 and the 3 really wants to go to either the bottom right or the top right, prefer the bottom right. That's the ball he's going to play for next. So this will be a good judge of pace for Kaçi. Makes it. Oh, didn't want the clip on.
Either of those balls.
Well, either. Now, he's got down a bit quickly on this. No, it was
Yeah.
just to check it out, I think.
He does that a lot. Kind of makes sense actually, because once you're down, you can actually see the shot instead of trying to visualize it standing up.
No, of course. I actually just thought he was a little bit annoyed by the result and was just going to get down and give it a kibosh. So, can he get the cue ball back down underneath the 8-5? That's what he's looking for.
Oh.
That was not a bad shot at all. Executed rather well.
But he was flirting with the pocket.
Well, absolutely. The key was to bring the 8 and 5 into play. The cue ball not far off the short rail. Looks like Tobias is going for the jump stick. All out attack, leading 6-3, race to 9. Place in the final up for grabs. Whoa. Wow. A tap on the leg from Eklent as well. He fully appreciates that shot. And now, not out of the woods yet, Bongers.
Because this 4-6. Will you take it on? Will you go for the carom? Will you go for the save? Still have that 5 and 8 that can be used as a wall.
That's a good one, yeah. It's a big wall.
Well, depending on where you sent the 4.
Nice. A rub on the 5 will take the energy out of the cue ball. And that 4 has dressed up quite close to the 7, which just makes it a little bit trickier to contact. Not much gap between the cue ball and the 8. Maybe jumping through the middle of them.
He's mainly jumping over the 9, I think. And he is looking to make that 4-7 combination.
Good jump. Avoids the scratch. 7 may hit the 6. Stop short. 4 available to the right side pocket. I think the 7's hampered the bottom right corner. Taking it on. Could come down and off the short rail through the 8-9. Oh, he's avoided that. Come back up and down again. Confident play. Avoiding running into the 9 or doing anything untoward.
Yeah, he's very confident this entire match, even when he was losing a couple of racks. Still couldn't see anything, body language or whatever. He just sat there and once he got his chin at the table, he started running the balls again.
Doesn't really need to do too much, but if he wants to get an angle on the 6, may need to force a little bit of something else. Looks to draw it back past the side pocket. Yeah, the worry is if he just draws back a ball, he may be a bit straight and will have to force a shot off the 6 and would rather just let the cue ball do the work. He got it past the side pocket.
Yeah, and he decided to play a bit longer, not bringing the 8 or the 9 into play. Basically everywhere on the table, on that left side of the table, is good for him.
Yeah, he did it before, coming up and down the table twice. Really showing good caution. Scoreline suggesting it's working. Just pick up Eklent in the background there. He's staying in his stool this time.
Patiently waiting.
Tobias maybe just getting a towel out for the shaft. Or maybe an extension. Yep. Just as he's reaching ever so for the 8. Also, just slowing it down a little bit more, Kevin, if we were to look at it from that aspect. Yeah, good pace. Now, 7-3 is a big scoreline in a race to 9. Not insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination, and we have seen some fantastic comebacks over these past, well, we're on day 5. final day. And it looks like Eklent has gone for a timeout, so there will be a little bit of movement in the crowd. Both Kevin and myself will just take this opportunity just to get a bit of fresh air, as the players will do, and we will be back here for this race to 9 semi-final. Tobias Bongers, Eklent, Kaçi, and we look forward to be right back with you very shortly for the rest of this exciting semi-final. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this second semi-final here at the 2026 Q-Tech Belgian Open, the beautiful Tavern de Clock here in Ostend. You join us for the matchup between Tobias Bongers, Eklent, Kaçi. Bongers leads 7 racks to 3, will have the break. Just took his time out, both of them. My name's Gethin Davis, joining me back in the commentating box for this one, Kevin Dykstra. Welcome back, Kevin.
Yeah, ready for the last part of this match.
Ooh, ooh. Quite a few balls dropping in quick succession. 6 left on the table. 2 will be the next ball on Tobias's radar.
Can he draw it back just a little bit towards the 4?
Well, it looks quite flat, Kevin.
Well, not flat enough.
Clearly. And got a little tap on the legs as well. Played that very well. And in good position here. To get on the 5. Doesn't want to let the 9 hamper. Centre pocket will work. Yeah, he's just having another look. Really doesn't want to be bringing this 9 into play.
I think he could go to the short side, right?
Yeah, I was just wondering because of the angle if he's going to be having to play 2 rails and coming across the potting angle.
That's not something you would expect, but look at how it ends up.
That is covered, I would say. What are you thinking, Kevin? Is there an edge he can just aim for? Well, it looks like he can certainly do the 1 rail. The 6 doesn't appear to be hampering that. Not completely comfortable. He's coming around for a little look. But yeah, I would have to say we're in the 11th rack, and that was the first mistake by Tobias. Certainly first one that's memorable. The oracle next to me is calculating away. Now, what is Kaçi looking at here?
He can't cut it all the way up, can he?
Oh,
If that misses,
I think he's played that, you know, with throw. He wasn't far away from it either. Hitting it at that pace just told me he could only see that much of it. Well, maybe we'll get the chance to ask him afterwards.
yeah, what was it for? The bank, or was it to make sure he's got shape?
I think he just wanted to go for the pot, and that was all he could see of the 4, so felt it was value in playing it with a lot of left-hand side to try and encourage it to throw back towards the corner pocket. Could be reading way too much into it, Kevin. Probably am. More importantly, Tobias back at the table. Avoids the 9. Centre table will work. Can kill the cue ball here to take the 6 into the same pocket as the 5. Should leave him a decent angle to come up for that 7 into the top left. Plays it to avoid the 7, has done that very well. Just floating up. Will come short of the side pocket. Nicely done. These 2 balls to get to the hill.
Yeah,
You have to say in quick fashion.
Yeah. Yeah, compared to the first semi-final, this was definitely a faster affair.
So far. And if Eklent keeps doing that, we'll be over a lot sooner. Now, Tobias Bongers on the hill. No, the door opened. I think that was to let more fans in. And, well, Eklent is in a position now where he's in a must-win situation.
Yeah. Do have it here. Because when Tobias played Eklent's brother in the previous round, you know what the score was after 11 racks?
No.
Yeah.
8-3.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it ended up hill.
Well, that's the stuff I love to hear, Kevin. Thank you ever so much. And what a wonderful segue into just being able to add the right spice to this scoreline. Tobias only needs one. Kaçi at the table with a good look on the one. Oh, he's over chopped it. May have got away with it. In fact, I would say he has got away with it.
Yeah, here I see someone asking about the issue between Claudio and Tobias. But honestly, I have no idea what that was. I don't think there was an issue between them two.
I'm trying to think of where Johnny went out. He went out to a couple of matches for a chat. I'm just trying to remember. No, it was with Eklent and
No, Eklent and
Ralph.
Ralph, but that wasn't an issue. That was
no, that was a
a ghost 8-ball that moved out of nowhere.
the ghost of Stella Artois past. Now, this not the easiest, but certainly worth attacking. If Tobias can get any of this one ball, there's a good chance it's going to drop. When I said good, I didn't say a certainty.
I think did trail just past the 6-ball. So Eklent's getting another chance here.
No. He's leaning over the 3 that he needs to play for next.
It's a big hill to climb still for Eklent.
Yeah, I completely agree. He certainly has the ability. Whether or not he'll get the opportunity to use that ability with the alternate break, it can just upset the apple cart even when momentum has shifted in your favour. Now, stop shot on the 6. The 8 has every pocket available. This looks very good for Kaçi to bring the score back to 8-4.
Yeah, then he has to sit and hope.
Needs it to slow down or needs it to speed up.
It's just in between.
Prefer the cut into the side pocket here.
Yeah, but you're gonna run into the 9 probably. And you're gonna just hope. Ah, you could avoid it actually.
Just over chopped it enough.
So 8-4, and Tobias to break.
Yes. Now, in theory, Tobias has 3 more breaks to win this match.
And of his previous 6,
Yeah.
he's had 3 breaker runs.
So, I'm doubting if he's daunted, Kevin, but
Oh, not yet.
it just takes a little ugly run, something unexpected, maybe something that will just play on his mind. We are digging a little bit because Tobias has played very strong to get to the semi-final. Won't take anything away from Kaçi. The only difference really being the start that Tobias got off to didn't really give Kaçi a look in. And currently he's maintained a 4-rack advantage on the hill, leading 8-4, breaking potentially for the match. Oh, look at that cue ball. Well, the run out isn't going to come at this point.
Never say never.
Very good point, Kevin. We need to learn better in the box, or I certainly do. Now, the push, you would have to say, is 99% certain. Where to? Well, wondering where the 8 and 9 are dressed up. Does he want to just dislodge that? Maybe not. The 2 doesn't pass the 3. Well, Tobias has been looking over towards the 6. He wants to push the cue ball that way. Okay, just tying up the 6-7, and that will need to be dealt with if there's no way of playing the 2, 3 or 5 onto the 8-9 combo.
I was just going to say that's going to be a hard task.
Kaçi's having a look at it. He's having a look at that 8-9. What's he going to do with the 2 first? Going gently at it, looking for cover from the 3. Oh, he's played it well. Nice tap of acknowledgement on the table from Tobias. That is a nicely judged shot. Not too difficult to get out of. Whether or not Bongers is confident of getting cover, that's going to depend on which way he can get into this blue 2. Well, it looks like he could maybe just slide past the 5 for the 1 railer, but that's going to need a lot of stretching to get to that cue ball. He's got either long rail to choose to come in on the 1 railer by the looks of it. Too sure if he was thinking of the 2 rails there, but he needs to reach over quite a bit, I believe, to get that angle. This is a bit sticky for Tobias.
Yeah, still that 6-7 is over there still. So that does make it a little bit easier. Or no, not easier, it makes it less likely to obviously sell out.
That looks a little bit wide that he's coming at that 2-railer with. Doesn't want to be too wide. He may pick up a little nibble of the 5. Avoided it. Contacted the blue 2. Didn't get distance between them. Has left a cut down to the top right pocket. How beneficial will it that 6 pushed onto the 7 prove in this rack?
Can he go towards the 6 and 7 here? Nah, that was a bit ambitious.
I like your thinking. Well, it needs to be done sooner rather than later. There was a good chance of still hanging out for the red 3. As of now, it's going to have to be done off the 5. Well, that is an angle. That is certainly an angle. Now, is he going to come into it with pace?
He has to.
Avoid the centre pocket. He didn't. The side pocket jaws just bit him a bit now, and that is going to be end of run. Or will it? If he comes in that way, I don't think he can make the 7. But well, where the 6 goes, nobody knows. Have you got your eye on something, Kevin?
He might be able to make it actually if he goes real fierce underneath. Not that. Where does the 7 end up?
Oh. Oh. Oh, 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 oh. Yes. Well, fortunate for Kaçi, not so for Tobias. However, Bongers ain't going to mind. He's 8-4 up. He'll expect to at least make contact on the 6. He's coming at that like he wanted to jump the 7 to make the 6. That would certainly be ambitious, to say the least.
But also something you have to look at. Like if it was a normal situation, like on the short rail basically, it's a jump you would go for. Now it's just checking, can I get there comfortably to make that jump?
Well, for me, that's not really under my radar, but I can see it. And he's had 2 dressings of it, so maybe he's made up his mind that it is on. Ho, 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 ho. What do I see? I see a jump stick.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was the risk.
that was a hard cue ball to keep hold of. Needed it to drop straight away and needed the energy to be taken out after contact with the object ball. It wasn't.
So there's just 3 stop shots. Almost. Now he'll make the cue ball roll a little bit off the 8. And what a difference that roll makes, because if that 7 hadn't rolled in between,
Yeah, completely agree.
could have seen Kaçi given up.
Oh, something's being said. Pick up on that?
No, nothing actually.
It was just a little bit further away from the microphone out there for me to be able to pick up on it.
I'm trying, Alex. Okay, I'm trying. I like you more when you drink also.
Well, my colleague Kevin exited the box, doing some digging, I hope. Whether he can glean any more information, well, we'll just wait to see what Kaçi does off the break first. Made a ball. Ooh, maybe a look.
Might have it, yeah. So apparently they just got a shot clock warning.
And that's what Kaçi was questioning. Yeah. Kevin is asking why. I'm agreeing with the fact he needs to ask. This match has been considerably quicker than the last semi-final. However, time does tick on. We do have a final to get through as well, but that should be of no consequence to these two. They've been playing good pace.
That's gonna leak. Oh. You see what I'm seeing, right?
I don't think it's on personally, but I would just play to pot the 1. A thin cut, and then let's see where the dice may lay. Let's look at it from the bottom right corner. I don't know if you can catch that 1 thin enough to carom it, but there could be some movement of the 9.
Yeah.
time. He's shaking his head. I don't think he can guarantee getting that 9 ball tracking towards the corner pocket. He may just look to play this through quite full.
Oh wow.
Oh, and that's come up a bit short, I fear. I don't know if he can see enough of the one to take on the cut. The bank is on. It is 20 to 11 local time. That may have just encouraged a little consideration for the shot clock. As Kevin looked astonished, I felt astonished. But that is likely the main reason. I don't think it's to do with these players dragging their feet in any way, shape or form. May have been a bit of surprise for them to have to hear. But they may also want to remember it'll be one of them playing in the final as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure adrenaline will take over
Right.
for a good chunk of it. Yeah. There are safety options here for him. He could try and bring the 1 ball round to the top left of the table and get the cue ball down the bottom left. There's a 3, a 2, an 8 and a 7 that could lend itself for cover. Could also glance off the right hand side of the 1 ball as we're looking at it from here and do a similar shot, but with the cue ball up top, the yellow one down low. He's gone for the latter option. He's played a good 1 ball and not too shabby a cue ball as well. Gets a tap on the table from Eklent. I'm not too sure if there's even an edge there of the 1, Kev.
Yeah, I do think he can see it. Maybe.
Well, this would suggest even if he can, he doesn't feel value in it and is considering the 2 railer around the 9. I've got a feeling that's not necessarily on. I think it may just slide out and go closer to the 3. Good look. This a key shot. Well, you have to say every shot for Kaçi now is key. Does not want to sell out. Does not want to give Tobias an easy look at taking this match. Oh, he was.
Oh, he's not going to make it.
Oh. He was able to get around the 9, had to flirt with the 9 to keep the shape. Cushion first, sadly.
Yeah, I think if like half an inch more to the right and it's a great shot
Completely.
with a great outcome. Now it's a great shot with a less than great outcome.
Yeah, and sadly, Kaçi at a point in this match, scoreline-wise, where Any mistake could be end of tournament. He will be happy with the semi-final appearance, but neither of these players will want to come this far for not having a chance of taking the title. Now, 2-3. Maybe getting the cue ball out from the 3 for the 4.
Yeah. I think he needs to draw it back a little bit so he can move forward off the 3.
Yeah. Well, at 8-5 up, the German, Tobias Bongers, is just looking for that one opportunity. This could be it. And this would be to put the second German in this Belgian Open final. Felix Vogel beating Oliver Zolnocki.
Ooh.
Oh, that was all right, that bump. To get to the final in what was a grueling contest where he had to come back from 3 racks down. Did it in great style. This has been Bongers' match to lose, really, from getting 5-0 up. He's maintained his advantage. Kaçi's only been able to chip one away from it with the 3 rack deficit now, and this 5-7, and Bongers will start feeling the finish line. How different this semi-final could have been. The Kaiser scratching in the final rack after coming back against Eklent, and now Eklent facing the possibility of losing to a German.
Oh. That's going to make this 7-ball a whole lot tougher.
Yeah. A little nudge on the 7. Fancy him for this, and making it without doing anything daft with the cue ball. Good line. Good line. 2 balls away from a place in the Q-Tech Belgian Open final. A matchup with his fellow countryman, Felix Vogel.
Yeah. We haven't had an all-German final yet. I was about to say something stupid. Because I'm not sure if we had a German in the final yet, but of course we've had. Last year, the winner.
Yeah, exactly. Now, this 9-ball. Deep breath from Bongers. What a performance. A big high five between the two. It started off with a golden break from Tobias Bongers, then a dry break from Eklent Kaçi.
A break and run, and another drive. No, was it another drive? No, there was a miss on the bank.
Got to 5-0 and was able to maintain that advantage throughout the rest of the match, taking this 9-5 and a place in the finals, which will take place very shortly after this. Felix Vogel will be taking on Tobias Bongers, and that will be starting off in about 9 minutes. 11 o'clock is the number being thrown at me, so please do not go anywhere. Boil your kettle if you must, make your coffee, settle back down. This is going to be a great final in store. Myself, Gethin Davis, Kevin Dijkstra, looking forward to be back with you very shortly.
He played better. This match. Yeah. He threw good, he played good. Really deserves to win. Vidi mamija.
Po, ljudi. Edhe e ka pas ditën sot ai.
I ka dalë çon e shumë mirë. Shumë edhe pra të bollë mirë çon.
You know that.
Which guy?
This one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Good Albania guy.
I know him. We play in the same club.
You playing World League?
This is okay.
Alright, take care everybody. See you. Hey, see you next time. Ja, zeker. Ja.
Wanneer is de volgende?
Nou, dat weet ik niet.
Ja,
Maar dat komt wel weer die volgende keer.
ja, maar dan weet je toch niet of hij daar is. Altijd discussie.
Dan gaan we extra, ja? Nachtje extra. Nachtje extra blijven?
Ja.
Jongen. Eindelijk helemaal van
Hey, hoi.
Karakter heeft die man. Den Haag. Oh, bij Scheveningen.
Juist.
En Madurodam. Oh, ja.
Dit zijn jullie niet verkeerd.
Wat nog mee?
Ik vind dat ze wat Duurdam zo niet in klein moeten zetten. Niet was voor leuk.
Bestaat niet in klein, jongen. Dat bestaat niet in klein. Ik zeg altijd, hè. 150 kilo dynamiet. Weet je wat Connie dan zegt? Spijtig dat ons ook wat is. Oké, nu doe ik dat niet meer. Nu zeg ik, hier staat. En een echte oude Vlaamse eik. Weet je wat ze nu zegt?
Nou.
Spijtig van die rotte taal. En wel, ga beneden te vragen. Om 11 uur beginnen we pas. Dat is nog 6 minuten. Ja, ga te vragen. Zoveel hout.